If you're studying for the SAT right now, you're probably spending about 100% of your time trying to improve your score. That makes sense, but there is one part of the SAT that might not necessarily influence your score, but will definitely influence your college options, and that is the SAT essay. My name's Greg. I'm a junior at Princeton University, and I scored a perfect 800 in the writing section with a max scoring essay both times that I took the SAT. And today, I'm going to give you my insider tips on how to write the perfect SAT essay that will get you one step closer to your dream school. Before we get into the details, I want to make one thing clear. You should never, ever opt to take the SAT without the essay portion. The reason I say that is this: virtually every top college either recommends or requires that you take the SAT with the essay portion. And whenever a college does just recommend that you take the SAT essay, they're really saying that unless there is some sort of financial hardship associated with you taking the SAT essay, or if the SAT essay isn't offered in your country, you should absolutely be taking it. Now that you understand why you have to take the SAT with the essay portion, let's go over the grading of the essay and the format. Here's how the SAT essay works. Two graders will look at your essay and assign you a score of 1 to 4, both in reading, writing, and analytical abilities. The two readers' scores for each of those categories will then be added up, and your maximum score is 24, minimum of 6. As for the format of the essay, you will be given a 650 to 750 word persuasive passage. Within 50 minutes, you must read this entire passage and write an essay that reflects that you fully understand what the author's argument is, and you must analyze the author's strengths and weaknesses in their argument. As for my tips, so my first tip, if you've ever watched another one of my videos, you've probably heard before, but this is especially important with the SAT essay. Whenever you're preparing for the SAT essay or pretty much any standardized test, you want to be using only authentic College Board materials. Test prep companies have attempted to come up with their own SAT essay prompts and passages, but a lot of times these passages are either way too easy or way too difficult for a student to fully grasp in 50 minutes. Working on passages that are way too difficult for you are really going to limit the amount that you can write, and they won't actually be super helpful in helping you prepare for the SAT essay itself. Lucky for you guys, I have attached a link that includes 6 full-length, authentic SAT practice essays in the video description. Go check it out. Second tip, you should never ever practice for the SAT essay without setting a time limit for yourself. It's quite easy to actually analyze these passages if you're given as much time as you want, but the real challenge of the SAT essay is writing a good essay in just 50 minutes. While you're going to get 50 minutes on test day, I recommend that you set a timer for 45 minutes when you're practicing. A lot of times on test day, the nerves will sort of get to you and time feels like it's going by just a little bit faster. Next, I'm going to break down how I would go about writing the SAT essay step by step, but first I'd like to introduce this video's sponsor, PDF Element for Mac. High school and college students are always dealing with PDF files, so having a PDF editor is key. But the best ones out there are by Adobe, and Adobe is super expensive. So if you're a broke college student like me, I recommend that you check out PDF Element for Mac. You can get PDF Element for free on iOS, and there is also a desktop version for Mac on the Mac App Store. PDF Element has a ton of cool features. You can convert your PDF documents to Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, and even JPEG images. This comes in very handy once you get to college because professors will often ask you to submit essays in all sorts of formats. Also, you can use PDF Element to take notes and edit your papers, whether you're on your phone, your tablet, or your laptop. It's excellent. If you want to check out PDF Element for Mac, which I absolutely recommend you do, there's a link in this video's description. Also, like I said before, it is available on the Mac App Store. Now, when you're coming into the SAT essay on test day, you want to have a plan for how you're going to attack the essay. This will allow you to spend less time reading the prompt, writing an outline, and writing the essay. I'm going to give you what I think is the best way to approach the SAT essay, but feel free to modify my approach if you see fit. The first thing you want to do is read the passage in its entirety. Don't skim it. It's important you actually know what the passage is about. By the time you read the first 1 to 2 paragraphs of the essay, you should have a pretty clear idea of what the author's central claim or thesis is. Write this thesis up in the corner or underline it. Just make sure you do something so that you're forced to check and ensure that you actually know what the author's arguing for. To stay focused while you're reading the rest of the essay, you can practice writing 5 to 10 word summaries of each paragraph as you go along. Next, you want to quickly outline what your essay will look like. The standard essay has an introductory paragraph that states your thesis or central claim, then 3 supporting paragraphs, usually divided into neat segments, and finally a conclusion paragraph that restates your central claim and sort of talks about why it's important. When it comes to the content of your essay, the College Board wants to know how well you can analyze the author's argument based on 3 criteria: hard evidence, analytical and reasoning skills, and emotional and emphatic language. You could dedicate 1 supporting paragraph to each of these 3 methods of persuasion, or you could sort of work through the essay chronologically in the order that the author presents their arguments, touching on all 3 of these in each, whatever works best for you. Super important here. When you are practicing the essay, make sure you have someone who is either in college or older review the essay and score it as if they were the SAT essay scorer. If you're struggling to find someone, head over to the College Confidential forum. There are so many people who are obsessed with college admissions there and would love to help you. Next up, I want to give you a few tips on how to improve your essay from a 16 to 20 range to a 20 to 24 range essay. Oh, and by the way, if you're new to my channel, I post videos every week for high-achieving students who want to get into the nation's most elite colleges. As we get closer and closer to the college application deadlines, I'll be posting more frequently, so please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification to know whenever I post a new video. Also, leave a comment on this video right now saying what your dream school is and why you want to go. Now, here are our last few quick tips on how to improve your essay from a 16 to 20 range to a 20 to 24 range. First off, the SAT essay provides you with 2 pages on which to write your essay. Always get at least to the 2nd page, and preferably you should be filling both pages. It's pretty arbitrary, but the graders will simply give you more points just for having a longer essay. Another huge tip is to memorize a list of the most commonly used rhetorical devices. For example, if I asked you what a synecdoche was right now, would you know? Probably not. One final tip, try using words other than show to get your point across. Instead of saying this shows, how about you try this demonstrates, this implies, this establishes, this means. All of these are fantastic substitutes. Too often I see even the smartest students saying this shows 15 to 20 times throughout the essay, and that just doesn't really flow rhetorically. So now you know what to do. All you have to do is start practicing. Again, I have 6 links in the video description. If you are interested in a PDF editing software, check out PDF Element on the Mac App Store, and I'll see you guys next week.